Don't you want to go on? Mario? Okay, here we go. Hey, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the VCH, which is a very naughty piercing, but let me go ahead and say before I start this video, if you are offended by piercings, which I do not know why you are on this channel, but you do you, and if you are underage, this might not be the right video for you. I'm not going to be showing pictures, I'm not going to go into like any kind of detail, but it is an adult thing for 18 and up, so I am just saying that now. But like I said, there will be no pictures, no gore, no nothing like that. Let's go ahead and talk about what a VCH is. It is a female genitalia piercing, and it stands for vertical clitoral hood piercing. There are myths going around basically that it is a clitoris piercing. It is not on the clitoris, it is on the hood that is above the clitoris. So clitoris, hood, this is the part that's getting pierced. This is basically the idea of it. The piercing comes out from the bottom of the hood, so it's laying on top of the clitoris, which can add pleasure and aesthetic. Do this with a captive bead ring, circular barbell, or a curved barbell. I've seen plenty of options. I like curved barbell, and that's what I have for me. I keep on doing this, like you can imagine what I'm talking about, but like I said, I'm not going to be showing pictures. If you're 18 up, you may go ahead and look it up. I also looked for pictures for the jewelry that I have in mind, and I cannot find it. I looked for literally an hour straight, so oops, I lost the picture, and I'm not going to take it out and show you because just no. It's all anatometal, so that piece, it's a curved barbell. So on the top ball, it's the TZ right on top, and then I have a basic, just really basic ball, and then the whole thing, all the metal is anodized to purple, just to match the rest of the set, and that's it. I want it super basic just because it's really just for play, but I like matching at least. So that's basically what it is and the jewelry that I have and the gauge. Let's go ahead and go into my experience with the piercing. So since it is slightly a personal piercing, I was a little bit shy about it, but I did bring it up to my friend who is also a piercer, and yeah, I basically just brought it up and I was like, hey, I want this done. So she said yes, and she said whenever you're ready, because it is a scary thing to approach. I waited about a week, went into the shop, we set up, we already talked about, you know, what kind of gauge, why I wanted that gauge. Basically, thicker gauges I do feel like add more pleasure, so that's why I went with a 14. Not only that, but my anatomy enables me to go to a 14 gauge to get that size and to even get the piercing. Now, I was a little bit worried because I did the Q-tip test, which is basically when you put a Q-tip under the hood to see if you're able to get the piercing. I was a little bit worried. I think I did it wrong at home because she said it was fine when I went into the shop, but I felt like I didn't have enough space here at home. So still, anyway, if you don't really do the Q-tip test at home that well, you can still go to a piercer and they can do it correctly for you. So went to her, did the Q-tip test, perfect. She said I was able to do the 14 gauge also, but less, because I do not want to stretch that piercing. That would suck, but I would do it anyway. Honestly, I would do it anyway. A very basic piece. When I started, I didn't have the anatometal. I ordered the anatometal, and then I was healing with a basic piece because that's just what I do for my piercings. I'm not sure. I get like the fancy stuff after it's done healing. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So she made everything sterile. I laid down, and then came the piercing part, and basically you have to have your legs quite open, which I don't know, I was surprised, but at the time I was just worried about the pain, so I really didn't give a fuck. I had my friend there holding my hand, Merm, and then I had Haley, who is a tattoo artist, who is a friend, also there because she wanted to watch, and I was like, whatever, fuck it. Smiley set up. She did use a NRT to pierce it. I highly recommend that you walk the fuck out if they bring out clamps, because I would be like, fuck no, hell no. Honestly, when she put in the NRT, it was actually more discomfort than getting the actual piercing done. It is a very thin piece of tissue, so I didn't expect it to really hurt. But the NRT did actually hurt a little bit more, and obviously her cleaning it and me shaving did make it burn a little bit because she had to clean off the area. But The NRT definitely was the most painful part for me anyway. I was holding their hands. I was just basically wondering, I was like, what if my legs close? And it was just like, I don't know, that would be like really weird. Because I felt like I would be the one to do that, because if I ever get poked, tickled, shocked, or anything, I always like tense up. So I was worried about it. So I was like, hey, have you had anyone do this before? And she was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, oh, okay. So like I relaxed a little bit. I was like, I need to just fucking relax. So I had the piercing done and my legs didn't close, but they just like twitched. They were just like, fuck. And then they went back to normal. And she's like, you kind of scared me, but I'm glad you didn't fucking crush me, because yeah, piercing honestly wasn't that bad. What I can compare it to, have you ever done like crisscross applesauce and slammed your heel into it? I guess that would be, it's honestly not that bad. It's less pain than that. It's just shocking to feel that sharp of a pain there, but it doesn't hurt at all. It's a very, very thin piece of tissue, and I really want to push that. It's thin, it's easy, and it's worth it. I put in the jewelry, it was fine, cleaned it up, I looked at it, super fucking bomb. I loved it so much, and I definitely want to get my Christina piercing next. But that one does take a lot more time to heal, and I just feel like I can't do that healing process right now, so I'm waiting on it. I can do that shit whenever the fuck I want. It's not something I'm rushing on, you know? Yeah, that was basically it. That was my piercing experience. It went fine, and I every now and then realize that I let 3 people randomly see my vagina, and that's kind of just a thing, but I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. At the time, I'm like happy with the piercing. I'm like, fuck yes, and it does bring up confidence in that area too. Not that I didn't have any comments in there, but like it does kind of just like, I like having jewelry there too. Might just be a body mod thing. Can't explain it. Now I'm talking about the healing process. It only took a couple months to heal, about basic, they say 3, I waited 6 to really do anything with it, so didn't really experience everything until the 6-month, 5-month area. And your piercer will tell you how to clean it. I'm not going to tell you how to clean it in this video, because everybody has their own different ways, and you should honestly trust your piercer enough to tell you how to clean it. And that's with every single video I've ever done about piercing. So please do not ask me how to clean it, because your piercer will tell you how to do it. If you're really worried about that, you can call them and ask them, but it is not my job to tell you how to take care of it. It is your piercer's job, so go to them if you have that question. Now, overview. Love my piercer. She told me etc. about it, everything that I needed and wanted to know, especially since I got this more for pleasure and aesthetic reasons. Then pain level, I would say an RT was like a 6 out of 10. The actual piercing, a 3 out of 10. Really nothing too crazy. Then after, sensitivity definitely went up, and pros, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a very nice piercing to have. Yeah, I let you guys ask me questions on Twitter and Instagram. If you ever have questions, or if I ever ask you guys to give me questions on a topic, you can reach me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are down below. How is it different from the Christina piercing? Christina piercing isn't really on the genitalia. It's mostly just on the pubic bone. Bows a little bit, that's where the piercing is going to be. And the VCH is actually under that on the hood. So it's completely like in a different piece of it. You can look at pictures, it's obviously in a different spot. The Christina piercing doesn't have anything useful. It's only for looks and aesthetic, when the VCH you can actually use for pleasure. I'm gonna go with the most obvious question that will ever be asked on this topic. Does it really make sex any better? Masturbation, sexual, oral, etc., etc. I will say yes to everything, and it does feel a lot better, and the sensitivity has definitely gone up. I would like double, like ×2, hello. And I do feel like getting a 14 gauge definitely makes it feel a lot better too, especially if you're using toys. If you had to get re-pierced, would you? Of course, 100%. I will be keeping this piercing for probably all my life. Hey! Pros and cons. Pros, obviously it feels better. It looks good. It looks nice. Cons, really nothing, but the only con I can really think about it can get ripped like any other piercing. It can get ripped out, but it is a thin piece of tissue, so it might come out a little bit easier. I have heard stories of people with a male piercing and a female piercing and they attach and then it just... But that's with any piercing. Be careful, my friends. This one asked about lace underwear, lingerie. It's fine, it's perfect. And I don't feel like it's really in an area that you would have to worry about. And it matters what kind of lace you're talking about. If it's more of a mesh lace, you're definitely fine. But if it's more of like an open, wider lace, I would say it's a little more of an issue. But overall, it's really nothing to worry about. How long do you have to wait to do... They just put 2 winky faces, so... I'm guessing you mean any kind of sexual activity or play. I waited to... No, I waited like a month. I waited a month. Personally, like by myself. A certain amount of you guys are actually asking what Alex thinks about it. Alex is my boyfriend. I don't really know. I asked him, do you like it? Does it seem weird? Is it noticeable during sex? He did say it's okay for me to say that we do things that adults do. What would he fucking do? Does he like it? He says, I really like your VCH piercing. It's not weird at all or anything. And it's fine during sex. So it's fine and it's good. But we are just having these conversations. We are just connecting about stuff that I didn't think we would be connected on. That basically sums up all the questions that I received. I hope this helped you. If you have some questions, I will be answering them in the comment section. If they are too odd, I won't be answering them, or I don't really feel like I need to. But if someone else has a VCH piercing and they are willing to answer those questions, then thank you so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Also, follow me on Twitch, because when I hit 10K on Twitch, I will be doing a 24-hour stream. Oh my lord. So the link will be down below. I also stream every weekday like I am today. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye! Meow.